Thank you, Chairman Cole, Ranking Member Martinez, and committee staff. I'm honored to be here today to discuss the impact that life settlements have had on our citizens and the need for strong regulation of these financial products by the appropriate regulatory authorities. Over the years, the North American Securities Administrators Association, or NASAA, and its members have been extremely active in dealing with the problems associated with viatical and life settlement investments, terms that have become interchangeable. At the outset of my testimony, I'd like to offer three general principles that I believe should guide legislators and regulators as they address the continuing challenges arising from these products. First, life settlements are complex financial arrangements involving both securities and insurance transactions. Consequently, regulating them effectively requires a joint effort by securities and insurance regulators, each applying their laws and expertise to different aspects of the product. Second, although life settlements may serve a useful purpose by enhancing the value and liquidity of life insurance policies, they also pose significant risk to policyholders and investors. For example, thousands of investors, many of them senior citizens, have been victimized through fraud and abuse in the sale of viatical and life settlements. Notwithstanding substantial successes by state securities regulators in their enforcement actions and higher standards among industry participants, abuses continue and diligent oversight of these products remains necessary. And finally, life settlements are constantly evolving in terms of product design, the policyholders involved, and the types of investors to whom they are marketed. Accordingly, lawmakers and regulators must carefully monitor these developments and respond to new challenges by creatively applying their existing laws and, where necessary, adopting new laws and regulations. This is one reason why I applaud the committee for convening this hearing today and focusing attention on this important issue. Traditionally, viatical settlements have involved two distinct transactions. In one, a viatical settlement provider pays the insured some portion of his or her death benefit in exchange for an assignment of the sale of the insurance policy to the provider. This is an insurance transaction, properly regulated under state insurance law. In the other, the provider arranges for interest in the settled policies to be sold to investors, with the promise of returns to be paid upon the death of the insured. This is a securities transaction, properly regulated under state and federal securities laws. The offer and sale of investments in viatical settlements has been marked by a wide range of fraudulent practices, and these abuses have been documented in scores of enforcement actions by securities regulators over the years, as well as scholarly articles profiling the industry. In addition to classic Ponzi schemes, promoters have used fraudulent life expectancy valuations that are prepared by captive physicians, inadequate premium reserves, and false promises of large profits with minimal risk. In short, while viatical transactions have helped some people obtain funds needed for medical expenses and other things, those benefits have come at a high price for investors, many of them senior citizens. To address these problems, state regulators and the SEC have fought strenuously to regulate viatical settlements under securities laws. Those laws require sales agents to be screen licensed and tested screen licensed. Promoters must register their offerings with securities regulators and make detailed disclosures to investors. The securities laws impose strong financial anti-fraud standards, and they provide remedies to deter violations. Using these laws, securities regulators have significantly reduced the incidence of fraud in the securities market. But our members continue to see evidence of bad actors that once characterized the entire industry. For example, in May of 2007, my office in Colorado filed an enforcement action against a company called Life Partners and its affiliates and agents. We alleged that for 3 years, the defendants sold unregistered viatical settlement investments to over 100 Colorado investors, netting over $11 million. We also alleged that Life Partners sales agents were unlicensed. They marketed the investments using fraudulent misrepresentations. In December of last year, the district court held that the offerings were unregistered securities marketed through unlicensed agents. Life Partners subsequently stipulated to a permanent injunction and agreed to make rescission offer to all Colorado investors. The viatical settlement industry has changed significantly since its early days, and it continues to evolve in terms of viators, investors, and industry participants. For example, the role of institutional investors has become increasingly prominent in the life settlement market. Along with this development is a desire among some life settlement companies to raise standards of conduct, promote sound regulation, and establish a legitimate industry sector untainted by past abuses. In conclusion, lawmakers and regulators must follow All of these trends must be prepared to acknowledge improvements in the industry, but also to address any new threats to viators and investors that may arise. I look forward to the findings of the committee in this important area of financial services regulation, and I thank you again for the opportunity to share my views.